don't know if this is on. Yes, it is. Hello, BookTube. It's Louise, the big head bookworm. Lovely to see you. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a good day, whatever it is you're doing and wherever it is that you're doing it. And if you're in the Carolinas and those states in America, crikey. I mean, there are quite a lot of the world has been affected by some awful weather at the moment. Having big weather. The weather is with you. I mean, in the south of England, well, actually the west of England, in particular Ireland, lordy, storms a go-go, but nothing as compared to that. So I hope you're all right. I hope to everybody that's at all affected by these storms, I hope you're okay and you're all safe and warm. And so yes, here we are. It's Friday. Molly, I have a cat here. Molly. She's going to go, isn't she? Oh, no, she's turning around. Oh, don't clean there. Oh, for a moment there, I thought we were going to have a cat washing an area. I was going to say, I'll have to move if you're going to do that. But no, here we are. So it's Friday. It's Friday Reads. This is my second instalment of Friday Reads. Friday Reads. It's Friday Reads. Oh, yes, it's Friday Reads. I need to work out a jingle or a theme tune or something like that. I need to find something that will be suitable to kind of get us in the Friday mood. So yes, how are you? Have you had a good week? It's been fine here. We've had kind of mixed weather and it's all very blustery. You are having me at my most put together. I mean, I brushed my hair. So yes, I did that and washed my face, but I haven't put my face on and I've got my my glasses on. I'm going out later. I'm going out for the whole weekend, basically. Although I come back in the evenings, I come back kind of late at night or early morning and sleep here. I then go away again. So I'm out tonight all day Saturday and all day Sunday to see the tribe, to see my tribe, my soul tribe, and to spend the entire weekend with them. So that is wonderful and I look forward to it greatly. I see them 4 or 5 times a year. I see some of them more frequently as well, but the big circle, is about 4 or 5 times a year, and we're all there. There will be some people missing this weekend, which is a shame. It's very rare that everybody can make it for the whole weekend, and people tend to come and go as and when they can. But I'm there for the whole weekend, so yes, I'm not staying. I did 2 years of staying, and the thing is, it's very good though, because when you get tired, you can just go to your bed and conk out. But the problem is I never slept that well. Truth be told, and as I am within driving range, although I do have 3/4 of an hour, 50 minutes drive, by the time I get home, I'm ready to snooze and I sleep deeper because I'm in my own bed. So yes, and of course I get to see cats, such as this one. She's all tucked down now. She's all tucked down to go to sleep. So yes, Friday Reads. I'm all excited about that. But I have to get ready for that later. I need to go and have a shower and get myself all put together. But I thought if I wait until after I've been put together, let's not show you my bra, there is a slight possibility I would get distracted and not do it. And not have time to upload. And that's not going to happen. I am going to do it. So here I am, Friday Reads. So do forgive me for my lack of glamour. But Cheryl did say, raw and naked. That's what she likes. And that's what you're getting this time. Sweetie, I'm thinking of you. I've had some wonderful comments in my last couple of videos. Thank you so much for everybody. I've read all of them. I haven't yet sat down and commented back, but I will be doing that. So do know that I do read all of them and mark them with a heart. I had a bit of a problem because YouTube kind of changed where I could get to the notifications, and I've changed it back and all's fine. So all's fine, and I will be commenting back on what have you. So yes to everybody, I have read it. And thank you. Some people give me some really good audiobook solution recommendations. A lot of people found The Monogram Murders by Sophie Hannah disappointing. So that actually made me feel slightly better. I did kind of think, well, maybe it was just a disappointing book. And somebody suggested that her next book, which is A Closed Casket, off the top of my head, I can't remember if it is that. I think it is. Said that was actually better. That she was almost holding back in the first book, and in the second book she's kind of better. So I might see if I can get that through the library on kind of audio. But I'll see if it's the same narrator. If it's the same narrator, I'm just not going to be able to cope with it. So anyway, yeah. So my audio book that I've listened to a lot of podcasts this week, because I do like me a podcast. And did you know that Serial's back? Yeah, Serial. Season 3 of Serial. I was a huge fan of Serial for season 1. Season 2 I thought was less marvellous. But season 3, and I'm going to regret doing that. Just be seen as an irritant now in this case. So yes, shush. So yes, series 3. First 2 episodes have come out, so that's pretty good. So I've been listening to those, and I've also, if you like true crime, I have been listening to. Let me see if I can get this up without it going on. Yes, Dr. Death by Wondery. So I've caught up with all the episodes of that. There are 5 episodes out, and I haven't listened to the last episode. So yes, can you see that? There we are. So there we are. So those are the kind of podcasts that I've been listening to at the moment and really liking. There's another one which is about the the death of Natalie. What's she called? Natalie Woods. That's it. Oh, I can't find that. Yeah, Natalie Wood's Fatal Voyage. The mysterious death of Natalie Wood. So yeah, so if you're into true crime, mysterious Fatal Voyage, Dr. Death, and Serials just come back as well. So 3 good podcasts. Oh, I'll show you the audiobook that I have been listening to, because I've been listening to a lot of True Death, and I just wanted something that I could just have it on in the background. Having to keep a little bit of an ear out as to what's been discussed, because of, we know it has to be clean, and it's not always clean, but it's near as damn it, was Written in Blood by Diane Fanning. And I've got 2 hours remaining. So I've listened to about 7.5 hours of that. So it's unlikely that I'm going to read it all this weekend, because, as I said, I've got very long days. Claire, if you watch this, you know what I mean. Very long days. So yes, Written in Blood, I will listen to in the car. So I will probably finish that. And then I'll have to find myself another audiobook. What have I read this week? So the last book that I've read... Well, okay, last book I've read, what I'm planning on reading next. So, The Mitford Murders by Jessica Fowles. There we go. Jessica Fowles, The Mitford Murders. Murder on a Train in 1919, and it's about the Mitford sisters. It was fine. It was very harmless. I read it. It was a little bit in one ear, out of the other ears. I went into it loving the idea of the Mitford sisters, but they're young. So Nancy, who's the eldest, is 17 in it. And I kind of would prefer them to be older. I don't know whether the next book, which is coming out next year, or it's coming out very soon, is when they're older. So I liked her writing. Wasn't entirely sure about her pacing. Not entirely sure. But for a first book, I liked her writing. I liked the period pieces. I liked the idea of the Mitford sisters. I wish there was more about the Mitfords, but I think we will get more as the series goes on. I would pick up the next one. I don't think I'd buy it at full price, but if I saw it, I'd pick it up. But it was a fine read. It's not thrilled me, but it was readable. It was readable. So my last book that was in is The Gratitude Diaries. How a Year Looking on the Bright Side Transformed My Life by Janice Kaplan. And I have in fact read this. So this is in fact the last book that I read. So it's 312 pages. So I finished that book. So I read that book, and then I read this as well. So that I read this one. It's quite a quick one. I'm fascinated with the idea of gratitude. I am passionate about the practice of gratitude and have been looking into the idea of it. So the different religions have different ways of suggesting gratitude rituals and the importance of gratitude as an idea, as a concept. The idea of putting gratitude into your life and making it um, making it a guiding principle that you live your life by. So not just being grateful for things, but actually seeking out things to be grateful for, or seeking out how you can be more grateful, or seeking out how you can show your gratitude more, or putting gratitude so it's not just a once a day thing, or if somebody gives you something you say thank you. You actually try and live a grateful life, and it starts with one thing and it builds up. I'm utterly fascinated by that, and I've been looking into it. And most religions have practices for this and teach about gratitude. And it isn't something that it is becoming more and more spoken about. And I've found kind of entire organisations that are devoted to trying to get people to kind of think about gratitude, not in a kind of religious way, but in a kind of just a way of living your life, but also in a religious way, because I'm fascinated in both sides, how it can be used as a spiritual tool and also how scientifically it affects yourself. So Janice Kaplan, was a magazine editor, and she's a journalist. And this has come from a very journalistic background. So she does keep a gratitude diary for a year. She does it in a particular way. But the book is very much her investigating what gratitude could be if you were interested in it, and all the different ways. It is light-hearted. It has got serious points in, but it's light-hearted. It's also very journalistic. Sorry, I got itchy here. Very, very journalistic. So I've read some of the reviews after I bought it and read it, and a lot of it seems to be really polar. Some people really like her style, really like the fact that she makes it accessible, and she talks about all the science that goes behind it, and all the different organisations that you could contact, and all the kind of what the psychologists say about gratitude. And I mean, there's a lot of that. And she phones up so and so from that that organisation or that university, and she also has Hollywood connections, and so she goes and talks to Matt Damon, and she goes to talk about that and this, that, and the other. And some people found that fascinating, and other people found it, a bit like me, truly irritating. I mean, I don't care. I don't care what Matt Damon thinks about it. I don't care how grateful Michelle Pfeiffer is about her looks. I just don't care. I mean, I'm glad they're there, and I'm sure they're beautiful people, but I'm not interested in it. And that side of it does really great. She also has a very privileged, it appears that she has a very privileged existence. And so somebody trying to teach you about gratitude from a position of privilege, I gather, has irritated an awful lot of people, and she's got a lot of flack for that. But I think that comes to a point where, just because us from the outside looking and saying, well, you should be happy, you should be grateful, look at all that you've got, your house in your flat in New York and your house in Connecticut and what have you, that doesn't mean that you feel it. It doesn't mean that you're happy. It doesn't mean that you live your life grateful. Do we not just kind of get used to what we have, So it was fascinating for that. So in some respects, the book itself was interesting, and I went through it quite happily, and I've learned some stuff. A lot of stuff irritated as well. That kind of side irritated me a bit. But then it was fascinating reading the reviews afterwards and the discussions that went on around the book. So so there's that. The Gratitude Diary, how a year of looking on the bright side transformed my life. She's very readable. She's obviously a very good journalist. She's got a very good way of saying it. I found it very readable. I think some people haven't. But I think perhaps once she's started to get on your last nerve, it was very difficult for her not to you know, not to kind of want to rail against her, which seems to be what's happened. So that it was an interesting book to read, and it has set me off in other ways, because she mentions quite a few people that have written books on gratitude or have websites about it, and so I've gone off on new ways, and so you will see those coming up in the next couple of weeks, no doubt, as I pick and choose those. So those are the two books that I've read. I've listened to some of Written in Blood. I'm not sure what my next audiobook is. I think I might go for the third, Louise Penny, in the Inspector Gamache. So the first two, if you bear with, I shall just get them up. Dum dum dum. Did I tell you I'd listened to The Spider and the Fly by Claudia Rowe? Ooh, that was an interesting one. Still Life by Louise Penny, narrated by Adam Sims. That was the first Inspector Gamache, and I really enjoyed that. So much so, over the holiday, I listened to the second one, which is called A Fatal Grace by Louise Penny, again narrated by Adam Sims. They're quite slow. And it's all centred around, well, these two have been centred around one Canadian village on the border of Williamsburg and in Canada, a French Canada. Yes, the French Canadian side. So it's really fascinating, and I really liked the kind of insight into the kind of cultural differences. So the French speaking Canadians and the English speaking Canadians, and how they view each other, comes through in these books. So I've really enjoyed both of those. So I might later today get the third one of that and have that on my phone as a backup. And then I wanted something a bit different. I wanted something a bit lighter and not entirely serious. So I picked up this I had a good old root through. So this is the funny thing. That kind of bookcase there that you can see, if you mind Buddha up there, that bookcase has got those first two shelves is all books that I haven't read recently, and actually in the next bookcase as well there's a couple of shelves in there, so they're all my TBR. And so I kind of had a good old root through, and I had picked up this last year, The Iron Wyrm Affair by Lilith Saintcrow, I don't know how to pronounce that, introducing Bannon and Clare. And I remember when I got it, I got a lot of people that said actually it's a really good fun book. I'm hoping it looks like steampunk to me. I think it is steampunk. For Queen, for Country, for Staying Alive. I don't know whether it is paranormal. Oh, it must be. Look, she's got magic-y bits. So it's paranormal steampunk. I think I quite fancy it. So I thought that's not going to be entirely serious. I'm looking for something a bit Gail Carriger. I still haven't started the second series. I still haven't started it yet. The custard protocol or something like that. So I need to get those. But I've got so many books that I want to read before I get to that. So that's what I'm going to do. And there we go. I maybe might get a couple of pages of that later today. I doubt it. And I probably won't pick it up until Monday, when I'm like that, after a very heavy weekend. Not in a boozy way, just in a people way. Just lots and lots of people. So how am I doing for time? Oh, Lordy, I've been chatting away. So sorry about that, chatting away. I will get quicker at Friday Reads. But it's our kind of, we know that we shall be sitting and chatting with each other on Friday. Isn't that lovely? I looked forward to it, actually. Yesterday I thought, I've got to record Friday Reads tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that. I shall think about finding a theme tune or a jingle or something like that. That would be really cool. Yeah, I shall have a look for that. So there we go, BookTube. I hope you had a good week. I hope you're going to have a good weekend. And I look forward to speaking to you again next week. I'm going to be posting at least one Friday Reads next week, but I look to doing perhaps even another couple of videos. I know, I'm inspired at the moment. I just want to chat to you. This has been lovely, BookTube, and I look forward to speaking to you again.